To understand the need of doing the flexibility analysis, the criteria is as shown on the screen. So let's understand what is meaning of the criteria and what are the meaning of different terms in this criteria. So let's say we have a piping which is three-dimensional piping. So I'm just considering X, Y, Z, and our piping first moves in X direction. So this is then in Y direction, and then it goes in the Z direction. So we are starting from A and then moving into C direction. So A to B, or let's call it D. So A, B, C, D. So A to B is in X direction. So there is X direction. B to C is in Y direction. So I'm calling this as LY. And C to D is in the Z direction. So I'm calling this length LZ. So it is just simple for understanding the formula. I'm just making out one pipeline. The actual layout can be different. This criteria implies that you have to first calculate the left hand side of this for your piping layout, depending on the geometry of your piping layout and the temperature conditions. The left hand side can be calculated, and the right hand side depends on what material property, that is what are the allowable stresses for the piping. So if the left hand side is smaller than the right hand side, then you don't have to do the flexibility analysis. So if this condition is met, then there is no need to do flexibility analysis. And if this condition, the left hand side is higher than the right hand side, then we need to do the flexibility analysis. Now let's understand each of the term. The first term is D, which is the outside diameter of the pipe, which is clear enough. The second is the resultant of total displacement to be absorbed. So because of the thermal expansion, this length AB is going to expand. So that expansion in AB, so delta LAB will be given as alpha, coefficient of thermal expansion, into length AB, that is Lx, into delta T. So how much is the temperature difference during the thermal cycle of that piping? So that will give you the change in length AB. Similarly, changing length BC can be calculated considering Ly, and delta L CD can be calculated considering the length in uh, Z direction. The resultant total displacement is the vector sum of these three displacements. So this Y would be nothing but under root delta LAB square plus delta LBC square plus delta LCD square. So that is how this calculation would be done. So this Y factor will be vector sum of the three calculations, three expansion values. The denominator has two terms, L and U. So the term L is the developed length between the anchors. So that is nothing but Lx plus Ly plus Lz. So this is nothing but Lx plus Ly plus Lz, the total developed length of the pipeline. And U is the straight distance between the anchors. So if you draw a straight line from A to B, the length of the A to D is the value of U. So that constitutes the left hand side. The right hand side, we have the K1 factor, which depends on the material properties. So K1 factor is given by a number multiplied by a ratio of SA by EA, where SA is the allowable stress range, what we discussed in the previous slide. So SA is given by this formula. So this is the value for SA, which depends on the cold stress, and that is Tmin and Tmax allowable stresses. And EA is the modulus of elasticity at installation temperature. So it is not considered at the operating temperature, but E is considered at the installation temperature or at the room temperature. So the reason for this is if you consider that the piping is at the coldest condition, that is at the installation temperature, the E value will be highest. As the temperature increases, the E value decreases. So it will be more stiff at the room temperature condition. So by considering E corresponding to the coldest condition, we are taken into account. We are making this particular equation more conservative. Okay, so let's take one numerical example which illustrates use of this. The problem here shows piping denoted by from point A. There is one equipment at point A and another equipment at point E. And for this problem, we are considering that both these points are anchored. So that means there may be a fixed support or there may be two equipments which are not having any thermal expansion. So these both points are considered to have zero displacement or they are anchored. And then we have the pipeline. The coordinate system is as shown here. So the vertical axis is y-axis and x and y are in the horizontal plane. So the leg A to B is in y direction, then B to C is in x direction, C to D is in again y direction, and D to E is in z direction. So that is, and the lengths of each of the sections are given here. The size of pipe is given as 250 NB schedule 40, and for applying the formula we need to know how much is the expansion of the pipeline. So in this case directly the alpha into delta T value is given here. So alpha into delta T is given as the number in terms of millimeters per millimeter. So if you multiply this number to the length of the pipeline, you will get the actual expansion of that particular leg of the pipeline. The hot allowable stress and cold allowable stress are given. The basic allowable stress in hot condition and cold condition, they are given. So they will be used to calculate the allowable stress range or SA value. The factor F, which takes into account the cyclic load conditions, that is given as directly it is given as 1. If the number of cycles are given using the code formula, you can calculate the value of F. And the modulus of elasticity at the installation temperature is given as the number which is indicated here. So we can now proceed with solving the problem. So let's proceed with the calculation. So we will calculate the straight distance from anchor which is at E to anchor which is at A. So that is the value U. So first we'll calculate anchor to anchor distance U. So U will be given as the summation of change in x direction, change in y direction, and change in z direction summed up vectorially. So change in x direction. So x direction is as shown here. So this is the x direction. So in x direction, we have only leg which is 2400. So we have 2400 square. In y direction, we are having 600 and 2400. So total 3000 square plus the z direction is 1200 square. So that gives us the value of u as 4024.9 millimeters, or that is 4.0249 meters. Next, we will calculate the developed length. So L we will calculate developed length. So L is nothing but addition of all the pipelines. So that will be 600 plus 2400 plus 2400 plus 1200. So L value is 6600 millimeters, so which is nothing but 6.6 meters. Next, we have to calculate the value of the y, that is the vectorial thermal expansion between the points A and E. So in this particular case, both A and E are fixed. They cannot displace. So whatever piping expansion the piping tries to expand, it will be restricted by these anchor points. So how much is the net restriction that is imposed by these anchors? That is what we are calculating. So higher the imposition or higher the value of displacement that we are trying to constrain, then the left hand side will become bigger and bigger. So as you can see, as y increases or the thermal expansion values increases, the left hand side will become more and more. So beyond a certain value, you cannot restrict the expansion. So that is what this formula means. So let's calculate the value of y. So calculation of thermal expansion y. So the way we will calculate y is we will calculate what is the expansion in the x direction, then expansion in y direction, and then expansion in z direction. And then we'll add them vectorially to get the net thermal expansion which the piping need to absorb. So the expansion in x direction would be given by the factor for the expansion is already, that is alpha into delta t is already given. So that value is 4.6917 into 10 to power minus 3 multiplied by the length in the x direction. So length in the x direction is the 2400. So multiplied by 2400. So that gives us the value of delta x as 11.26 millimeters. The expansion in y direction would be given as the same number 4.6917 into 10 to power minus 3 multiplied by the total length in y direction. So total length in y direction is 600 plus 2400, so that is 3000. So this value is 14.08 millimeters, and delta z will be the length in z direction, which is 1200. So this value is 5.63 millimeters. So therefore we'll get y equal to delta x square plus delta y square plus delta z square, the whole under root. So this value comes 18.89 millimeters. And the diameter of pipe, the d value is from the pipe schedule we can find it out. So dia of pipe, so we have been given 250 NB pipe, so d for 250 NB pipe is 273 millimeters. So that is from pipe schedule. So this is from pipe schedule. The table will be made available to you during the exam. So we are now able to calculate the left hand side of this equation. So let's proceed with the left hand side, which will be dy divided by L minus u the whole square. So this value is 273. Y we have calculated as 18.89. L is 6.600 minus u is 4.0249 the whole square. So in this case, the particular units need to be followed. So if you look at the formula, the units are mentioned there. So you have to be careful about the units that you need to follow. So the diameter, the denominator values are in millimeters. So d and y both are in millimeters. whereas the numerator values are in millimeter and the denominator values are in meters. So just be careful to follow this unit system, because otherwise you will get wrong answer. Okay, so we get the left hand side value as 777.7. So we need to check whether this value is smaller than the right hand side. So let's calculate the right hand side. So we need to calculate the value of K1, which is given as 208 300 SA by EA. The EA value is already given to us. We need to calculate the value of SA. So the basic allowable stress is given as factor F multiplied by 1.25 SC, the cold basic allowable stress, plus 0.25 hot allowable stress. Both the values of SC and SH are given in the problem, and value of factor F is also given. So value of factor F is given as 1.0 multiplied by 1.25 into SC is given as 138 MPa, and SH is given as 113.8 MPa. So if you calculate this value comes 200.95 MPa. So we get the value of SA. So now we can calculate K1. So K1 will be equal to 208 300 multiplied by SA. So SA value is 200.95, and EA value is given in the problem. So EA value is 203,473.6. So we get the left hand side, the right hand side value, or the K1 value, as 205.7. So our right hand side is 205 and the left hand side is 777.7. So it is not less than the K1 value. So that means that we need to perform the flexibility analysis. So we cannot eliminate doing flexibility analysis for this particular pipeline. So since 777.7 is greater than K1, which is 205.7, so this implies the piping needs flexibility analysis. So that is how this calculation would be done. Before we proceed further, let's consider one variation of this particular problem. So in this particular problem, we have considered that both this start point of the pipeline and end point of the pipeline are fixed. That is, there is a zero displacement there. In case they are attached to some equipments which are having the thermal movement, in such a case, how to do this calculation? We'll just have a quick relook at this particular problem. So assuming that all the conditions remain same, except that instead of point A and B being fixed, they have been given some specified displacements are given in that particular case. How to do the calculation, that is what we will consider. So I will take a fresh sheet, and so let's assume, for the sake of understanding, that this anchor E still remains fixed. So at this point, delta X, delta Y, and delta Z, all of them are 0. Whereas at anchor A, let's say we have been given delta X is not 0, but delta X is plus 3 millimeters. So X direction is the direction which is in this way. So the displacement of this anchor is given towards the positive X direction. that is from B to C. So this particular anchor is moving in this particular direction. Now if you visualize what will happen to the system is that uh, this piping is trying to expand, and when this particular anchor tries to move towards from point A to point E, because of this movement the distance between these two anchors is going to reduce further. So one thing is that if these 2 points are fixed together, then the thermal expansion which is in the x direction, that is leg BC, would be fully restricted. If the anchor A moves in positive x direction, then in addition to the thermal expansion, this anchor movement is going to further load the pipeline. That is, we are if the anchor was not moving, it was stationary, then our delta x of the system, so this is delta x for point A, the delta x of the full pipeline would be given as the alpha delta t value that is given to us, that is 4.6917 into 10 to power minus 3 into length of BC, which is 2400. So this value we had calculated as 11.26 millimeter. So if the point A and E are restricted, then this 11.26 millimeter expansion will be fully constrained. Now what is happening is, because the anchor A is moving towards point E, there is an additional displacement which will get constrained. That is, the piping was originally trying to expand by 11.26 millimeter, which was restricted, but further you are loading it by another displacement which is 3 millimeter. So in this case, the total delta x for the calculation of the flexibility, this point 3 millimeter need to be added. So this will become an additional loading to the displacement calculations. And in the reverse case, in the case this delta x at point A is minus 3 mm, that is if the displacement is in the opposite direction. So instead of towards point E, now the displacement is away from point E. So in this case, the pipeline which is trying to expand by 11.26 millimeter, the displacement of point A away from point E is going to help your system. In the sense, the thermal stresses will be less, because out of 11.26, 3 millimeters will be taken away. So the net expansion that we'll consider in this particular case for the pipeline would be 11.26, which is nothing but the first term, minus 3 millimeters. So in the similar fashion, in y and z direction, you have to take into account whatever anchor displacement is given, whether it is going to help your system, it is going to overload your thermal expansion, or it is going to relieve your thermal expansion. That aspect you have to see and then determine the net expansion for the system. So although this problem doesn't cover that, I thought of highlighting that if the anchor displacements are given to you, then the way to take into account them is as we discussed here.